Hi folks, welcome to step 2, honouring where you've been. So, the job at this time was to draw your whole life on a page. Impossible, I know. Now, if you haven't done that yet, stop this video, go back and do it. You really need to do this because otherwise the rest of the video is going to make no sense to you at all. Okay? Done it? Got it? Good. So, what I want you to do is to look at this one page, which is an impossible task, obviously, because it's taken your whole life to live to this point, so to explain everything would take certainly years. But what you have chosen to focus on now, what the main themes in your summary are, tell you what's important to you. Just like the magic wand on the last step told you what's really important to you right now, so this map is telling you what you think the story of your life has been about. So if you've spoken all about your parents' influence in your childhood and your jobs and how you've got to where you've got to and everything's all about that, then family is the key theme to your life so far. If what you've given me is not far off from a CV, all your life has been about is getting qualifications, gaining a job, then your service, your talents, your career is what your theme is to your life so far. If you've told me every illness you've had, don't feel bad, loads of people do this, and all the bad things that have happened to you, again, you've got the what's wrong with my life syndrome, and that's what your life story has been about, all the terrible things that have happened to you. If you've got lots of adventures, so all the things you've learned to do, the times you did crazy things, not your day-to-day life, but the kind of the high points to you, then adventure is standing out to you. See how this works? Now, there'll be a good few of you who are sitting here going, not even that interesting, Liz, frankly. Born here, got these many sisters, and it's a very factual piece. Then you're not seeing a story to your life at all. And in fact, you probably feel like life is happening to you. So regardless of which challenge you feel you've got in your life story, don't worry. It's just the way you've seen things so far, and you can choose to see things completely differently within a second. Just like, when you're listening to the radio and a song comes on and you don't recognise it, or you turn on a channel and you don't recognise the music and in fact it sounds discordant and you can't quite get a handle on it, and then all of a sudden there's kind of a flick and you remember what the song is, and suddenly you're either singing along or you can predict the next sequence of notes, and it seems familiar then. And it's just a perspective change, and this happens all the time. So we're going to change your perspective on your life so far. So as you look at this life on a page, what strikes you? So you've got the theme, but are you happy with what you've written down? If you were trying to impress somebody, is this what you'd have picked out? If you were going for a job, is this what you'd have picked out? If you were searching for a new partner, is this what you'd have picked out? If you were meeting somebody for the first time in a pub, a friend, is this what you'd have picked out? So just notice how what you pick out changes. And sometimes we change to fit in. So if we're talking to somebody who's obsessed with illnesses, suddenly we'll remember all the illnesses we've had. And this is just our brilliant Google mind showing us all the things that are important to us. So don't feel bad about this. This is not a failure. There's nothing wrong with you. This is just how we operate. You're just getting more information on where you are right now. And it's important to know what map you're looking at and what map you're using to navigate by, because it's going to make a lot of sense when we're starting to decide where to go next. So for example, if I've got two people looking at a tube map, two people looking at a map of London, one's looking at a tube map, one's looking at the A to Z road map. Now we could both talk about Tottenham Court Road, we can both talk about Leicester Square, and we mean the same thing. We can say Leicester Square, where the big cinema is, right? Yeah, where they do the big film releases and the red. Yeah, that's the right one. Tottenham Court Road, where the shops are, where the two roads meet. Yeah, we're still talking about the same thing. But if we talk about how to get from Tottenham Court Road to Covent Garden, one person is talking about road names and the other person is saying, well, it's the blue line, isn't it? Now the blue line is the Piccadilly line, if you're not familiar with London and its tube maps. But the blue line to somebody looking at a road map would be the River Thames, the river that runs through London. And they'll be thinking, what are you talking about? How are you going to take the Thames from Tottenham Court Road to Leicester Square? So when we're using different maps to each other, we can be using the same language. We can mean the same things about the destinations even. But our way of getting there is just incomprehensible to understand. So with this in mind, Once you know what map you're using, now you can decide, does it serve you or do you want to use a different map? So look at your map of the world through the lens of this life on a page and decide, do I like seeing my life this way? How else could I see my life? And if you'd like an extra challenge, decide how you'd like to see your life and rewrite your life on a page. So if I said you have led a charmed life, you just haven't noticed before, write down all the ways you've been blessed and lucky escapes and you've got helped out just at the right moment, brilliant chance encounters, spectacularly being in the right place at the right time, good fortune, all that kind of stuff. Now rewrite your life story. And notice how you could rewrite your life story any way you choose, because actually the past doesn't exist anymore. It never did. It's just a collection of memories. And if you think about it, if you've watched my work for a while, the game reset that I use, it's a very easy trick to pull off with yourself because your memories are so changeable. So have a go at rewriting your life on a page and rewrite your life story as if you were the chosen one, you were the blessed one, as though everything in your world had conspired so that at this moment you would come to this realization. See you on the next step.